Finally got my press kit. FFG pulled through here. Like, comment, and subscribe to get a shot of one of 3 people to win some of this press kit from Fantasy Flight Games. But without further ado, let's do a product reveal and open some booster packs. All right, so we got a booster box here from Fantasy Flight Games, which you're going to open on like a chest cam in a little bit here. So I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to be building a pre-release kit, pre-release walkthrough on how I build. We got the Darth Maul deck here in Qui-Gon, which I'm not going to be opening these. I'm going to be giving these away. Everybody knows what's in these. They're spotlight decks, and they are essentially geared towards getting you into the game, getting you some rares and a deck to play. And the decks are actually pretty, powerful. They're not like cheapo starter decks in other games. So I'm going to set those aside as well. But what I want to open up here is one of the playmats that I'm going to be keeping, which I want to give the other one away. I want to keep the black one. Obviously, if you watch my videos, I often have this really cool design that Fantasy Flight Games has created for Star Wars Unlimited. And they decided to make a playmat. So first off, I want to say I really want them to make a white version of this, like a white and gray. Blockade Runner, the Blockade Runner from A New Hope that Leia's in. Like that stark white kind of futuristic feel. So I'm just going to rip this open like a barbarian and not even use the pull tabs. View of the kind of quality here. So I actually have an oversized mat, and I'm not going to lie, this almost feels too small. So I'm actually going to pull out my deck. There she is, Sabine Yellow. Let's bring her out. Here are these zoned mats here. So I got the Chopper base, and I have the Sabine here. And the one issue I have with these playmats is, first off, I actually play with my deck over here. That's just how I am. So I don't like that that's over here because I don't actually draw with my right hand. Even though I'm right dominant, I actually like to have my deck here. But for the sake of the video, I'll put it here. One thing I will say is I feel like the resources row is too large. I have basically half a card here. Like, why would I need to have that much room? I feel like they should have really shrunk this down and giving you like an area to kind of go too tall with your units. Like if you have too many space units here, I would love to have this much more room here so I can put, I can go tall like that, or even here. Right now you can only go one tall. So not a huge fan of that, to be honest. Very cool playmat design, but one thing I've had an issue with in this game is I feel like you do need a larger playmat. Like in a game like Magic the Gathering, you just don't need, you have one battlefield. But because there's 2 battlefields like this, or 2 arenas rather, I find myself often running out of space with some of these playmats, and I just don't like them. So the quality of it is really good if you're looking to pick one of these up. So I also wanted to open up the matching sleeves here because I really like these sleeves. Oh, that's fancy. The reason why I'm pulling these out is I kind of want to show you guys if there's been any change to the quality. Because if you didn't know this, they were actually changing the quality of the sleeves in between releases. So some of the sleeves kind of had a glossy back. Some of them had sort of a matte finish, and that matte finish gives you a more durable sleeve and often a more buttery feel. So this actually, I'm not going to lie, unfortunately, these are, they are matte, but they feel almost in between gloss and matte. They don't feel like a pure matte sleeve, but they don't feel like a pure gloss. It's kind of weird, so, And let's do a little sleeve test for you all. So let's see if they've increased the... Nah, yeah, that's an issue with the GameGenic sleeves, is they just come apart really easy. I still buy them. I love them. I'll probably end up using this one. But I did switch to Dragon Shields, and my Dragon Shields lasted me 3 9-round tournaments. between a PQ, regionals, and another event. And I had GameGenic sleeves, and unfortunately, they only lasted a couple of rounds. So that is one thing I feel like they need to improve on is the bond strength of their sleeves. That just is way too weak, in my opinion. They are cheaper than Dragon Shields, depending on where you get them. I usually only have to pay $10 instead of like the $13, but it just isn't worth it at this point to buy sleeves that are generally weaker. So I love the design, though. I love the creativity of GameGenic, so home run there.
All right, I will be getting a new desk soon that's much larger, so these openings will go a little bit easier. I did burn myself. True story, I came back from Punta Cana on my 10-year anniversary, and I was very tired, got home at midnight with my wife. My kids were being watched by their grandparents, right? Mom and dad, you know, doing their grandparent duty. And I found out that I sleepwalk when I'm very, very tired. So I don't really have any evidence of this, but I have like a dreamlike memory that I got up in the night and I had a dream that I made coffee and burned myself. And in the morning, I woke up with a burn. So we did find water and things like that. So my guess is I sleptwalked, thought my coffee... I have a pour over. I thought that my hand was a coffee and burned myself in my sleep and then put myself back to bed without any memory of it. So crazy story there. All right, so let's open this sucker and see if we can pull a showcase. It looks like all the showcases got revealed actually by Fantasy Flight Games. So I'm not really looking for anything in particular. I'm just excited to pull cards for you all. If there's any like hyperspace foil commons that I'm looking for, I might take them out. But for the most part, I'm giving these open packs away. I'm going to split the winnings up between the 3 winners, and I'll be giving like a winner a playmat, sleeves. So be split up between the users there. Wow. So these are actually foil. I don't remember that being a thing. They're actually like foil. I don't remember that. So let's get these suckers out here and put them over here. Slam them down. My buddies wanted to draft tonight, but I was like, hey, I want to open this on camera, so we're going to have to draft a different time. All right, let's move these off to the side, and let's get started. So 24 packs. Hopefully these boxes are not mapped, but I am not too concerned about that. So let's get started. We got the Grand Inquisitor, Corrupted Sabers, Force Slow, Curious Flock. I'm going to go kind of quick, just looking at some cool cards. Whoa, already off the rip. Makarion Row Hyperspace, The Daughter Rare, and Protect the Pod. Wow, that is pretty wild here. So we're going to put that over here. That is just a common. And then we'll put the rest over here. So that is an awesome pack right there, right off the rip. Hyperspace Legendary. Obi-Wan, Starlight Temple. We got some cool commons, some reprints. Shin Hati. Oh, that's an uncommon. I keep thinking she's a rare. She's so good. Size matters not. And is that a rare? That is a rare Psychometry. Wow, foil. So already doing pretty well. 2 double rare packs in a row. All right. Let's open this sucker. Ooh, Cal Kestis Hyperspace. This is actually pretty sick. Not bad. And then Hyperspace Trident, Assault Ship, Drain Essence, Night Saber, Old Daka, Gungi, Marin, Trust Your Instincts rare, and an Itinerant Warrior. So, just realized I needed to zoom in here. So, sorry about that. All right, next pack. It's kind of hard to see the cards from super far away. So... all right, let's see if I can break my showcase curse. I've yet to pull a showcase. We got a Doom here. What is going on? Hyperspace Doom. I have Scion. Has every pack so far been a double rare? Like a double rarity slot, legendary or higher? Almost. That is pretty wild. Did they gift us with a God pack? Ooh, Hyperspace Foil Army of the Dead that just popped out. Time of Crisis. Let's go backwards here. Another Cal Kestis. I thought Calcessus was a rare in terms of leaders here. It's interesting that Trust Your Instincts here is a rare. I did not expect that to be a rare. All right, we got In the Shadows, the Purgle King. All right, I'm just kind of jumping right to the back here because this video is going to get real long. Got to find that sweet spot, you know? Another, whoa. How many Calcessuses did I just open in a row? Is that the fourth one? What is going on? Knights of Ren here. Oh my gosh. Qui-Gon Legendary, Kiadamundi foil, which I'll throw in there. What is happening? This is a good box, everyone. This is a solid box. All right. Next pack here. I'm sure all of you are excited to go to your pre-release. Ooh, we got our Darth Revan rare. Oh, he's a rare. Interesting. This is like the only showcase I want to pull out of the set is the Revan rare here. We got Dooku, heavy ion cannon, and then a hyperspace foil relic scavenger. He's got a lightsaber in his hand. Restore 2. Interesting. I'm not really organizing these, so I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna maybe pull the legendaries. Let's be a little reasonable here. Let's put the legendaries on top, and then like the rares on bottom here. All right, next pack. All right, no showcase. All right, Karis. I thought she was a rare, but she's not. Mace Windu's an uncommon. Pong Krell and a foil Cartel. Whoops. Cartel Interceptor. Interesting. All right. So it looks like we might have expended our luck in the first half of this, I think. All right, we got Talzin. That's the first Talzin, I think, so far. Hyperspace Wind Sage, 3 lessons. Watto, Plo Koon Hyperspace. That's kind of cool. Psychometry again, and another foil rare, Paz Vizsla. So can't complain about that. Guess I'll throw that in there. Any hyperspace, cool looking card. Throw into the pile. Another hyperspace leader. Looks like a Mother Talzin hyperspace. Looking pretty cool. Second Sister. A reprint Nexu, unfortunately. Lothwolf. That's cool. I'm sure there's going to be so many, you know what? There's going to be so many hyperspaces flooding the market with collector boosters. So pretty much anything legendary above is playable, or rare and above is the only hyperspaces people care about. Ooh, hyperspace foil Maz Katana. Nice. Sindralig, 3rd legendary the box. Wow, that's awesome. Very, very cool. Happy to see that. All right, next pack here. Alrighty, we got Second Sisters, the leader again, BD1, Plo Koon, Asajj, Yoda's lightsaber. That's a rare? I had no idea that was a rare. I thought that was a starter card for some reason. I'm getting that mixed up with Qui-Gon saber, I guess. Alright. I'm a little disappointed with the lightsabers in this set. I feel like none of them are good besides Constructed Saber. Force Speed, Hyperspace Rampage, another legendary Oppo Rancis, and a 8th Brother foil. So, Oppo's a legendary? What the heck, man? I thought that was like a rare. How is Mace Windu uncommon and then Oppo Rant? I know it's about complexity and uniqueness, but it's just weird to me sometimes. Balin Skull here, Priestess of the Force. Another Makarion Row, 2nd Makarion Row. Is that, yeah, Makarion Row. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he's the Nihil guy from High Republic. Very cool to see that in here. All right, next pack. Obi-Wan. Blockade Runner, we got Eth Koth. The only rebel in the set, Blockade Runner. Very cool. All right, we're way past halfway at this point, but we are cruising through this video. Barisafi, it's a rare. Jedi Sentinel, very cool card. Heirloom lightsaber. I love the lightsabers in this game. I wish we saw more of them per set. All right, we got Scythe, which is the Inquisitor Typal card. Ship. Rare. Yeah, Inquisitor Typal spaceship. All right, we got Kit Fisto. Ravenous Rathar. These are from High Republic, I think. All right, and we got Jedi Trials and a foil Shin Hati. So, an unplayable upgrade. We'll see if Jedi Trials is good or not. I mean, it's possible that Jedi Trials is actually really good. I guess it's only one, and if you get to attack with it, I mean, this could snowball. This could be like a snowball effect, or if like upgrade matters, right? All right, Grand Inquisitor, Sorcerers of Tund. That's very cool. And we got, As I Have Foreseen, Whirlwind of Power. All right. So we got 5 legendaries so far. One of them was a hyperspace bonus. So I think the legendaries are supposed to be, they did increase the hit rate. So I should hopefully get at least one more here. All right. Let's see. Invasion Control Ship. Friendly droid units gain raid 2. Some of these cards I've like seen once. And I was like, this is not good. And then moved on. And I forgot some of them existed. All right. Let's keep going here. Anakin. First time seeing Anakin. Another Eye of Sion foil. Another Jedi Trials. And a hyperspace psychometry. So that's a triple rare pack. But that is the third time I've gotten this rare. Second time it was in a bonus slot. So that's a little odd. That card is kind of unplayable, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty bad. I do not like that card. So not a bad pack though. Can't complain about 3 rares in a pack. Ooh, this pack's a little thick. All right. That looks like Jeddah City. All right, so we got Vernestra Row, great card. T9 Ahsoka's Shuttle, which is also a foil rare, so another double rare pack. I don't think I'm going to hit that 6 legendary that I was hoping to hit, but this is looking like a solid box. Pretty well-rounded, I'm not going to lie. Dooku, Chirrut, Kylo, Darth Malak, there it is. Wow, that is beautiful. This one looks almost as good as the Prestige, I'm not gonna lie. At least the pose. That's a really cool looking pose. Not a foil, not a hyperspace, not a hyperspace foil, but cannot complain about a 6 legendary box. Okay, last pack magic, here we go. Bang, ooh, Ahsoka. It's like my only Ahsoka in the whole box. She's not common too. So let's go to the back. We got Doom, and that looks like it is everything. All right, so I'll be giving away some of the items in the back, and I'll be throwing in a bunch of cards that I pulled. I'll throw in rares and a couple legendaries as well into the giveaway. I'm obviously going to be using some of these cards for my personal collection as I prepare for Galactics. But this is a really solid booster box. I'm excited to open some packs at pre-release. Like, comment, and subscribe to be entered into the giveaway. And this is by far one of the most fun sets I've had in Star Wars Unlimited. So I really hope if you're getting into this game through a big box store, through a friend, or if you're a faithful follower of this game from the beginning, this game is getting really, really good. And I'm just getting hyped for this set, for PQs, for promos to come out. Not only that, but for Galactic Championship in about a month. I mean, in a month from now, I'll be playing in the Galactic Championship Day 2, and I'm very, very excited. I have a panel as well on competitive play, along with some other top players in the game. So I'm very excited to participate in that and be on the lookout for that as well. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend, and peace out.